נשמחה, הבה נגילה הבה, נגילה הבה, נגילה ונשמחה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה ונשמחה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה, הבה נרננה ונשמחה, אורו, אורו אחים, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Urachim, Alef Sameach. Hava, Nagila Hava, Gila Hava, Gila Veinishmaha. Hava, Nagila Hava, Gila Hava, Nagila Veinishmaha. Havanarandina, 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 Veinishmacha. Havanarandina, 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 Veinishmacha. Oh, Achim, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach. Urahim, Urahim, Lazameya. Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Vein. Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Vein. Hava, Nerandina, Hava, Nerandina, Hava, Nerandina, Vein. Hava, Nerandina, Hava, Nerandina. Havanarandina Veinishmaha. Uru, Urachim, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Alef Sameach, Urachim, Urachim, Alef Sameach. Please be seated. You guys have got microphones here. That and that over there. So, okay. Some years ago, there was a thing called an expulsion in Israel, in which 21 towns were decimated and were replaced by more decimation by the people who they were given to. And so we went down there just before it all happened, and we sang this song to the citizens of Gush Katif. Many of the others were there, encouraging them that in fact we were standing with them, and many, many millions were as well. It was interesting that all the 7 people involved in engineering that expulsion have either been in a coma, lost their jobs, been in jail, committed, or passed on. None of the 7, except Ariel Sharon, and we're all waiting for something to happen there, have gone. Why? It was the wrong thing to do. So this is, we're standing with you, we're believing for you. As Aaron held out the tired arms of Moses, so we are doing the same for you. It's exciting to see the new developments between Christians and Jewish people in Israel and around the world. It's very exciting. And it's just about 2,000 years too late, but we're going to do what we can. as the days are here. Okay.
We'd like the hands up of those Israelis who are with us tonight.
There we go.
Yay, there they are. We
Our
are
dear
standing with you.
We are leaving for you. As Aaron held up the tired arms of Moses, we're doing the same for
Once more.
you.
Order something because it's coming Tuesday. Which Tuesday? Oh, well, I can't tell you that. It's just Tuesday. Okay, we're going to see what oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, it's not on. It's not on.
Now we're going to hear congratulatory. No, we try that again. Congratulatory. My English is coming back. Connecting the dots. Congratulatory message.
Louder. We can't hear you. We can't hear.
Here we
Let's
go.
stand in the middle.
You're ready.
Yes.
A congratulatory message from the Prime Minister, Stephen Harper. By Hank Van Zyderveld. He's going to present them.
Well, I'm honored to be here tonight. Welcome you all. We're all connected, interconnected with Merv and Merla for many years. We've all been touched, and many more around the world have been touched. Even our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, the Right Honorable Stephen Harper, touched by the work of Merv and Merla Watson, what they have accomplished over the years, spearheading the Christian Embassy in Jerusalem, spearheading so many things in each of our lives, even in my life personally. It's just amazing to see how these faithful people, this couple, this precious couple whom we all love, stand together. congratulations on the occasion of your 50th wedding anniversary. Prime Minister of Canada, Stephen Harper.
Now we're done.
Okay, we're going to have to do speeches and stuff until the time is done. Okay, we have to change the program. What else? Well, then Merv, I guess you give your speech.
Oh boy.
Start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, they're working on it though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
When it comes to my arms, your public shouting.
No, it's them. It's nothing to do with me. No, but I just want
Time has come.
to speak to them. I'm busy. Please, I'm sorry.
You wear glasses. How many are with me on that?
Oh, yeah.
What are you laughing at then? Well, it all began with a phone call some years ago and a request to sing on Mark Kenny Ranch TV program, which was square dancing, our favorite thing. Merla's a fantastic square dancer. The phone call seemed innocent enough at the time, but it has led to this moment we're experiencing right now. Because there I was sitting in a history class in U of T, half asleep, not half asleep, having come from the West Coast to study music and study voice and become the most memorable tenor of all time. And the ringing of that phone was like a huge destiny chime. The professor answered the phone in the middle of his lecture with a disgruntled shout. He asked if there was a Merv Watson in the class. I couldn't believe it was me. The attitude was all wrong, I felt. Anyway, I'm sure that I'd heard incorrectly until he repeated the question a lot louder this time, and yes, it was me he was calling. So in front of a class of 250, I stumbled down the stairs in the back, and I shuffled down to the front and bewildered answered the phone. It was Merla Lehman. My goodness, and what's up, my Merle? We get Merle, Myrtle, Merv, Marv, and the English people have the worst time. It's Marv and Myrtle every time. It's really amazing. It's like a rondo, like a theme change. Anyway, before the class, you're going to wants me to know if I would sing 2 songs on TV for $125. Well, I was near the end of my term, and I had about 45 cents to my name. In the 50s, that was like $500. So I agreed. Yeah, I'm interested. That would be good. I would. You bet. With $125 is a lot of money then. Not now, but then. I had seen Merla at the Royal Conservatory of Music the week before and offered to carry her heavy double violin and viola case. I've been carrying the darn thing for 50 years. Fortunately, we got a fiberglass one which was about half the weight. I did pretty well with it actually, except when it came to Patterson's WestJet. Because we never like to put that on baggage. You know how when it says fragile, they think it means kick it. I've lost about 6 accordions out there. Anyway, the violin, at one time, we had a big argument from going here to Seattle, 118 miles, and finally they said, you've got to put it on down the luggage. I said, well, only if I can put it down there. Well, so I went down there, put it in, opened it up in Seattle, and there was a huge crack down the top. That violin was made in 1754, 4 years after Bach died, and 3 years before Mozart was born. So I was totally unimpressed. We had the thing fixed, cost $1,000 to take the lid off before we started fixing it. But we saw a sympathetic fellow in Dallas, and he fixed it for $200.
Is this, Oh boy, okay. So I'd offered to carry this heavy instrument, and we had done some singing together in a 60-voice choir. Back up a little bit. I'm here, okay. All right. Let me see. All right. We'd done some singing with a U of T 60-voice choir, so she was not a complete stranger. As a matter of fact, she was gorgeous and terrifically talented. See photo on the overhead, as you can see. You'll see her later on. And we had a lovely time singing with that choir. We sang the very first opera, Robin and Marian. That's Robin Hood and Marianne. And we sang it in ancient French, I think. And so she's singing it, and I'm trying to find it. I had a book that had it had 2,000 pages in it. I had to find the page. So every time she took a breath, I went, she said, well, what in the world is going on? Well, I was trying to find the page, and I couldn't find it, so I handed it to the conductor, who said, found it right away. I could have killed him. Anyway, I started in. I tried to start in. Merla's got a perfect pitch. I'll explain later what that's all about, but she seems to know the note. So I said, give me my note. She went, what do you mean?
Nobody was laughing either. Nobody, only us.
The head of the faculty was there. It was in a hard house. Everything was walnut and gloom. Yeah. So they're all sitting there, and I started off. I said, I can't wait for you. I started to know 3 notes too high. And I knew there was a high C coming. I would need a ladder to reach the top. And Merla wasn't about to loan me her shoulder, so that was it. So I said, "Suck lovely," and stopped singing. No more laughing from anybody. We just went ahead of it. Anyway, we finished the opera, and that was my finished experience for being a soloist with that particular choir. Anyway, many rehearsals followed. Many rehearsals followed this to do this program on the Mark Kenny Ranch, sponsored by Coca-Cola. You not only got to dance this stuff, you got to poison yourself at the same time. It's fantastic. So many rehearsals followed, and I very cleverly borrowed a lot of music because, after all, I would like to come back again. So I planned to return it a page at a time. You see, I was becoming very, very interested in the lady. She at that time was playing for Harry Belafonte. You remember him? The guy with the high forehead, like me? Oh. It's the only resemblance. Anyway, at that time she was playing she was the only female in the orchestra. And he called her his favorite fiddleist. Fiddleist. They still had gender then. They don't have gender anymore, but at that time they had gender. And she said he had become very enamored with folk music. And I think I became quite enamored with folk music too. I wonder why. Anyway, folk music became my interest, and funny enough, I suddenly became a real enthusiast. But just could not get enough of folk music, but really, I just could not get enough of Merla's company. So a couple of dates followed, and a few car rides in my Morris Minor convertible. You couldn't see the car most of the time because of the blue smoke, which followed us everywhere. I couldn't understand why the blue smoke followed us. I tried, like John Cleese, I should have beat that car to death. I warned him, you know. So anyway, then because I was soon to leave for the Rocky Mountains and the Shadow Lake Louise to take up a head bellman's position, and although I did not want to rush anything, but I knew if I left to go out west, I would probably never see her again, because it was going, that's it. And that was not just to be. So I asked her to marry me on the 3rd date. You see, I didn't want to rush anything, you know what I mean? Fortunately, she had a mother
Oh, dear.
You got to meet that mother.
So good.
She's the only one I know that grew 2 inches after she was married.
Yep, she did.
So all the photographs from that point on, she was like this. And the father was like this, you know. Anyway, she was a big lady and had a lot to say. Anyway, that was... So she put a couple of conditions on her acceptance, and we struck up a kind of an agreement. It's 85 more pages. It's okay. Just relax. And although she did not want to rush things either, there was a beautiful relationship and hope for our future together. It was amazing how right our love for each other really seemed to be, even in such a short time. I really had decided to leave off marriage plans until my singing career had gotten underway. However, seeing how dicey and unsure a singing career is, I had switched to a Bachelor of Music Education, in which at that time it was almost a guaranteed position in the Ontario school system. And it was the right move, and I really paved the way for Merla's highly conservative parents to accept my proposal as valid. We never did sign anything, but it was... about 2 years later, we were married. Yeah, wasn't that a nice guy? And I remember her father used to sit in the window burning along with the lamp when I used to bring her home, eventually. Now, I was very fortunate career-wise, and within 2 years, I had a head of music department position in a beautiful, brand-new high school of 1,650 students. I taught all the band instruments at the same time. I remained sane for 8 years. The kids, I've done actually very well in music. They've gone on in spite of me. No, it was a wonderful time, wonderful school, 8 years of musicals and band concerts and travels and all sorts of things. So I was doing very well. I bought a brand new car, got rid of the oil, I got rid of the car, got rid of the Morris. I think the price of oil went down at that point because I'd burned so much. Then, so a year of teaching, and from the first screaming blat on instruments to Beethoven, and Merle and I launched out to sing and minister over 85,000 miles, 42 states, and 6 provinces with 5-year-old Sean and 3-year-old Alana. We had to hitchhike most of the way. It was really black rock. No, and a student babysitter in tow. That was the year of 1970-71. And years of club dates, concerts, television, radio, stage work, operas, musicals, and ministry to see lives changed followed. When I proposed to Merla, I said that we would have a very interesting life together. Little did I know. That's interesting. I mean, how we ever reached 50 years and survived, no idea. I'd be busy. It was incredible. And, but you know, little did either of us know just overwhelmingly interesting it would be. And our son Ariel, here tonight, came on the scene as a real miracle child. But I shall let Merla talk about the kids, our wonderful, loving kids. Merla has been and is a spectacular mother and a wonderful wife, and much beyond my wildest dreams, and the greatest blessing that I could ever hope for. The passage in the... Thank you. The passage in Proverbs that talks about the perfect wife left a lot out. But as the world turns, so does the family, and each child is totally different from each other. There seems to be always the question, where did this one come from? Yeah. One of the great pleasures of being parents is to see how each child applies the inheritance of talents, tendencies, and challenges that we genetic contributors, being, genetically correct, genetic contributors pass on to our kids. Sean, the oldest, we suddenly discovered as we walked by the bathroom, there was a burst of song from a rich baritone voice of an international appeal in the shower. We said, who's in there with you, Sean? Because, a kid's 16. Nothing. All of a sudden, my goodness, we're going to get you a scholarship. He got one, $2,500. After one lesson, I felt pretty good about that. Anyway, he went on to 22 years of singing opera now, and oratorios and musical comedies and liturgical services. He's the main singer in the local synagogue in Israel, in Toronto, because he's the only one that speaks Hebrew. So that's interesting, and he sings it well. Alana, our daughter, loves singing blues, musical comedy, jazz, and her own song creations. Ariel, our youngest, has spent years training on the cello, trumpet, and sundry other instruments while busy selling satellite services to Russia and Africa. I don't know, the combination is really strange, but he's doing a great job. He's an avid composer for films, documentaries, just finished his 8th program for television, on the Vision Television, done the sound behind it. And he was looked after a special promotional film sponsored by the LL. It was about Tel Shomer Hospital, where they rehabilitate people that had terrible accidents or war and so on. And he practically did it all himself. The sound, the light, cameras, editing, that raised $75 million for that hospital. So Alana is busy organizing house concerts in Jerusalem and writing her own songs and making film clips and, generally speaking, being very happy about living in Israel. In other words, our young people are a constant source of surprises and joys. And this is our constant reward for being faithful as parents with our strong faith and guidance from the Lord. In Judeo-Christian thought, there is a statement that urges everyone to make your world a better place because you are here. May this be our focus and prayer to live our lives by the dictates of heaven, not just earthbound in thoughts and concerns. Thank you.
That was good. Well, I didn't hear or see what he was going to speak about, and so some of the things he's already covered. So anyway, this is my rendition, okay? I just want to say before I get into my little spiel that very unfortunately a lot of folks could not make it tonight for one reason or another, mostly summer holidays. However, most of them were planning upon watching it on live streaming, but we just found out 2 days ago that much to our disappointment, there is not the proper connection here in this place for Wi-Fi as of yet. So these folks will have to resort to watching it as a film of the event afterward.
DVD.
Yeah, a DVD? No, well, if somebody said something other than that, so anyway. So as soon as we can release it right after this celebration, we will send it out to our entire mailing list across the world. And some of the folks missing tonight are our dearest friends whom we have known for many, many years, and we know that they are here with us in spirit. But we do miss them very much. Also, we hope to do some kind of celebration at some point in Toronto, where I grew up and where we both studied at the University of Toronto, and where a lot of our friends and my family live. So as you watch that film, please know that we send our love and our hugs and blessings to you, and wish you could have been here. Very especially our son Sean in Toronto and his wife Claire, our daughter Ilana in Israel, my brother Alden Lehman and his wife Phyllis in Guelph, Ontario, and my matron of honor